is the just and correct claims for the accounting period ending December the 12th, 2014. Item B are the meeting minutes for the December the 2nd, 2014 City Council meeting. Item C, Resolution 2110, accepting a donation from the estate of Kenneth Altoff to the library. Item D, approval pay request for number 2 for 2nd Street Southwest Street Project. Item E, pay request number 1 for the 3rd and Cannon Street improvements. Item F, Panasonic CF19 Tough Books purchase for the ambulance service. Item G, approved purchase of EMS cardiac monitor defibrillators. Item H, Resolution 2111, accepting a donation from the Cannon Falls Fire Department Relief Association to the ambulance department. Item I, Resolution 2112, accepting a donation from Invenergy to the ambulance department. And item K, cost of living item J, LES 2015-2017 collective bargaining agreement. Item K, cost of living adjustments for non-union employees. Are there any items anyone wishes to bring down? Seeing as there are none, we will move on. The chair will move to take a motion for approval.
I'll second.
Motion by Merle, second by Bill. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Consent agenda is approved. That moves us on to item 7, council business, which is the ambulance director hiring recommendation.
Thank you, Mayor. The interviewing committee, we met Tuesday night and Thursday night this week, or last week. It was, interview committee was made up of personnel committee member and Mayor Robinson, Mayo Health Representative Bill Priest, Sir Michael Guthrie, interim director, and myself. We had 3 interviews on Tuesday night, and we interviewed 3 candidates on Thursday night. We had a variety of candidates. All had good backgrounds. Out of the 6, we unanimously selected Tim Malchow, who is from Des Moines, Iowa. And I wrote up a little bit of a background for you. And Robbie, you might want to interject anything. Mike, you're sure welcome to too. But we were pretty impressed with Mr. Malchow, and I was impressed primarily. He had 5 years experience in the city of Monticello, Iowa, as ambulance director. So he worked for the city. He was responsible for submitting budgets, responsible for the budgets, grants management. He's got some experience with grants management, and he's also a firefighter in addition to being a paramedic. And he's volunteering right now with 2 firefighting services, Ankeny, Iowa, and Urbandale, Iowa. So he's an active individual. And he is excited to start. We've negotiated the package as is in the update of 12/15 of yesterday, with the start date of January 12th, 2015. Mr. Guthrie says he will hang in there with us until then. Starting wage would be at step 2, and he would go to step 3 on a successful performance review after 6 months. Still have the 1-year probation that's put in place for everybody. Vacation, he will start at year 5 on the vacation schedule, which is 15 days. And moving allowance up to $1,000 for U-Haul, etc., with verified receipts. Nothing really extraordinarily unusual about the offers or the requests, I would say. Mayor, do you want to add anything?
When the committee sat down and did our interviews, we not only looked for who would be with their experience, and we looked at also how they would fit in with staff, how they would work with other directors. If they had a staff meeting, how would this person work? How would he interact? We asked Bill Priest, the director of the Mayo Hospital, how do you feel he would work with people at Mayo Hospital? Could he communicate? Could you work with him? And we weighed that on all the candidates that we had in trying to make and how would he fit in with the community? How would he work with other, with our fire department, with our police department? And based off of all the folks that we did interview, we felt he would be the best fit for Cannon Falls moving forward. And so I know he is excited to come up here, and he just came across as the right fit. I mean, and we all looked at it and asked questions to each other about it. Where's this person going to fit, and how's this person going to fit? And he was the one that stood out amongst the 6 that we did interview.
Mike, did you have any comments on him?
Just same as the others, all good candidates, and he did seem to be the best fit, and happy to have him starting in January.
Any other discussion or questions?
Well, special thank you to you, Mike, for filling in and helping us out here. Very much appreciated.
With that, if there's no further discussion, the chair will take a motion to approve the hiring of Tim Malkow as the new ambulance director, contingent upon successful physical and background.
And I will second that.
I have a motion by Merle, a second by Bill. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. That moves us on to item 8 this evening, reports. Mr. Maroney.
I have nothing, thank you.
Greg? Mike?
Thank you for your support on these items, appreciate it, so does the ambulance service.
Chief?
Just want to remind people, we are rapidly approaching Christmas and New Year's, both that are times that have lots of parties associated with them. Just remind people to make sure that they plan ahead. The designated driver or take a cab. We just would love to see no impaired driving arrests through the holidays, and better yet, no fatalities. That's all I have.
Thanks. Ron?
I wish to extend my appreciation to Leroy. You and I have had some good dialogue over the months since I started in March. Animated at times, but I've always felt I could rely on you if I had questions or you've got some good advice, believe it or not. Wish you luck, and I hope you don't miss it too much.
I'll let you know.
Merle?
I want to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody. And I have a couple questions. Number one, how are we on the smell detector business or equipment? How are we doing with Sustain?
We've had some additional monitoring. We've had communication with the folks at Sustain. Trinity is now done with their work. We have received the final report and the evaluation that they completed for us. And our hope is, in our conversation with Sustain, because they're doing the same monitoring as we are with similar equipment, that we can hopefully find a way to cooperate and work together to minimize the occurrences that we've had in the past. I don't think either party necessarily wants to go down the road of strong enforcement unless we have to. And I think at this point, the work that we've done, I think, has gotten their attention. I think they can appreciate where we're at, and I think they are trying to make a cooperative effort with us. So,
Have you talked to some of the residents in the area?
we hear from them on occasion, but I haven't had any recent communications with them.
Okay.
Just to follow up on that, Dave, will we then be moving some of the monitor equipment to some of our other issues? I know we've had some questions on
Right.
others.
Yep. We
Yeah.
certainly can. I mean, the equipment is capable of doing that, and if we have similar circumstances, we can certainly start a monitoring program. The format's been created by Trinity for us in their final report, so that we'll at least have a consistent monitoring, whether it's with Sustain or someone else down the road.
Okay. And then also, I'd like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, And Leroy, I want to thank you for your years of service. There are a few issues you and I have disagreed on, but by and large, it was nice to have you aboard, and wish you continued good luck.
Thank you.
Jay? Morris?
Again, I want to wish everybody Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and Leroy, good luck to you. Been a good guy.
I'll let you go first, then I'll talk.
I can go now?
Yeah.
Okay. You got one more time here to listen to this. I made a list of things I would have liked to seen done in the last 3.5 years that I've been on here and didn't get done. Some of them I don't think the council are aware of. Staff was aware of it. So this is my list. We've got a storm drain over there on County 17 that dumps into the trail. It's not a big deal to dig up that intersection and put it to the other side. Anytime you got street runoff, and that is the street runoff or over in that area, it all dumps on that walking trail. I think it's kind of a hazard, more than a little bit of a hazard. And I was hoping to have that straightened around before I get out of here. Over at Amesbury, the storm sewer system is so poorly designed over there that the public works on real high rainfall actually has to go over and pump out the loading docks before they can back their semis in there. I was hoping to get that resolved, and we never did that. I was hoping to get the crossing done down by the Ball Diamonds. I still think that is very important. It's another MnDOT issue. I also had down here what Merlis brought up, I never did hear anything on the air quality reports or where we are with sustain. We spent that money to test the air and stuff. I think it would have been nice if the council would have got some kind of reports on what we got back on that. Number 5, I got down the pop-up credits on the West Side project up there. That never got taken care of, either credits or knock that concrete out, replace it. I don't see any reason to study concrete or study aggregate. There should be some kind of warranty up there, and it should be dealt with. The other thing I was hoping to get done was a safer canoe launch. I met with 2 of our city staff about moving it down to Hannah's Bend, and Welch Village could launch down there, local people could launch. It's a great area, the current is low, there's kind of a back current, so it'd be easy to get in and out of the water. I did have somebody look at that was a canoer and knows a lot about it, gave me his advice on the best area to do that. I think that it's pretty serious down there with not only Welch, but with the parking for the other canoe thing. I would hope that Public Works or somebody would look into allowing off-street parking down on the city road down here, and maybe we could get the crossing and get that traffic off Highway 20 down there. The other thing I would like to do more with in my retirement is to work with preventing DWIs. I'd like to deal more with the homeless. I think I was instrumental in getting the taxi phone numbers posted at all our bars, and I was very excited about that. I also was hoping to have the city council pay for any taxi cabs that anybody that had too much, and I felt the city should take care of the cabs ride home and give them some kind of a voucher so their car wouldn't be towed in the wintertime or something, but that got a little complicated. I did, after talking about that with the police commission and stuff, I was very excited because I seen a report in one of our magazines where I believe it was Isani County that 6 months before I came up with this, they had tried that up there, And they also went with, not only the taxi cab service had to be printed at all bars, the bartender could make a judgment on who had too much to drink. They also made the beverage companies liable to pay for the cab service for people that didn't have the money. So I think there's some room we could go with that, and we could do a lot of good things with that. I think whatever we can do to cut back on DWIs, I know in Isanti County, within 1 year, their DWIs, I think, dropped like 47%. I think about college kids that come home and get together and decide to go to the bar. Somebody, for some reason, makes a mistake and has a little bit too much to drink, and I want the bar to be an inviting place and get them home safe, and I don't want them driving so that they're around next time to stop down again. The other thing I've had a lot of concern, and I want to work with my retirement, is homelessness. I was so shocked a couple summers ago when I worked on the bike race thing, talking to a couple of people in different situations, and then talked to Jeff about it later and explained to me that these people were homeless. It, I guess, is just kind of shocking to me that we have homeless people in Cannon Falls, but we do. I also have read enough about it to know that I'm not here to pass judgment on homeless people. I told Jeff the other day that homeless people have got life figured out where they don't have an electric bill, a gas bill, insurance bill, and they just live their life. So who is the smart one here? The rest of it are all paying bills. So, but I do have concern about people that are homeless because for some reason there's either some kind of a loss or connection, or there's some kind of a loss of identity or something. I asked Jeff to take consideration to make as much contact as they can with these people, to stay in touch with these people. I know one of the homeless people actually lives in their vehicle, and I told Jeff, if there's any way that policy allows it, to make sure that this person knows that they're welcome to park in our police parking lot and sleep down here rather than in some alley or someplace where there isn't a security and something could happen. So I have a lot of concern for the homelessness. I also got the bright idea about a month ago that when Mayo Clinic moved in that modular home up there about 5 years ago, I did all the hookups on that, and all of a sudden the little light went off, and I thought, wow, it would really be nice if I could get the Mayo Clinic to donate that to the city, and we could move it down to the parking lot, and the police could be in charge, and we'd have a shelter for homelessness and domestic abuse. I think that would be a good thing to think about. I think it's something we have to address. But the sad part of it was I talked to Mayo Clinic, and the fairgrounds is getting the building, so that kind of fell through. The other thing I have is, on that end of it, is the concern that someday, and not too far future, that we do get something going with the transfer station for the police down here. Doesn't have to be anything big or elaborate, but I think a transfer station is important. Number 9, I want to mention from my standpoint, I want to quit beating the dead horse on the roundabouts out here. The roundabouts are done. Now we got to figure out how to deal with it. We got to figure out how to move on, which way is the best way to move on with blend-in lanes, blend-off lanes, whatever works there. But I do know that it's out there, we're where we're at now, so now we got to do the best we can with it. I think I did mention to Ron that if I was gonna stay on here and I would be awful committed to a lawsuit against MnDOT. I think the way they treat things, the way they handle things, their numbness to people's thoughts, small town problems. The stories can go on and on from it's always budget, it's always safety, but yet what they do is totally opposite of that. I guess with the new overpass going on out at 86 with you guys, I would hope we get the chance to work and express ourselves a little bit with that, because I'm kind of wondering if MnDOT builds anything normal anymore when it comes to overpasses. It seems to me like wherever I travel to, the more land they take for an overpass, it seems like the happier they are. I don't understand the overpass situation where they have made it so complicated that they come in from different angles and everything. I was out the County Road 9 out there, and that's another weird setup out there. I don't understand putting duck passes for animals and watering holes for deer on a highway, and they put in these holding ponds now. So I think that some of this stuff with MnDOT, with our signage and different things that happen with our business, I find it kind of ironic that if they need your land, they will buy your land for a certain rate and a certain price. But if they're going to damage your business, they don't do anything for you. I don't know how that would work, but I just find it ironic that if we can avoid doing anything or helping you at all, then it's just tough if you go broke or your business cuts in half. But if we run into your building, we'll buy it from you for a fair price. So the whole MnDOT experience has been just bizarre for me. Number 11, I got fixed the frozen water lanes on the main at Cannon Court. I see we finally got the library thing buttoned up, I think. The library thing I thought was terrible. That took a whole summer to just get down in there and put some drain tile in and some sealant and put a concrete sidewalk back. On Cannon Court, we had new water mains that froze up last year. I never did hear back on any of that. The other thing I'd like the council to do is to keep an eye on the old bridge over here by the old Lawrence Meat building. I've always been very concerned about that because one of our main gas mains for the whole town goes across that bridge, and there's also a water main on there. If we'd ever have some kind of a failure, it would be catastrophic. We also, when I came on the council every year, we were going to get that main underneath the river over there. The sewer was going to get under, the water was going to get under. We supposedly had some grant money to do that stuff, and I don't know whatever happened to that, but it never got done. The last thing, 13, is I'd like to wish all the council members the best, especially Kathy, the new council member coming on. I would hope that Ron and Dave and the people would give her a little background on how things work down here and the procedure of everything. The one thing that when I came on the council, it was probably a year's learning process on how things work and where they got to go and who you have to talk to. It'd be nice, I think, if we had some kind of a briefing procedure for new people coming on. I can give you a little example. When I first got on the council, the phone would ring and somebody had a problem, and it was new to me. I didn't know where I was supposed to go with it or what I was supposed to do. So David Pagel and I went to high school together, and so the first public works thing I had was, what the hell, I called David up on his cell phone and said, this is a problem, these people have called me, go take care of it. I don't wanna hear back from you. And so then about 2 weeks go by, and then Tom calls me up and said, hey, you know anything about what's going on with this and that? And yeah, I said, it's taken care of. Well, it didn't get taken care of, it came back to me now. So then the next thing I know, Aaron calls up and says, did you deal with these people directly and with Dave Fable directly on this? And I said, yeah. What the heck am I supposed to do? Well, he says, you should have brought it down to me, and it starts off here, and then it gets to everybody. He said, now there's a problem, something didn't get done, so now they're a little hot under the collar and stuff. So we kind of had a good joke about it and a good laugh about it, but there is a procedure to things down here. There is a way that things work, and it's important, I think, for Kathy to know that. So in closing, I want to thank the staff for their patience, and Ron made a few comments with their help and patience with me over the years. And I also want to wish the council and the mayor the best, and I want to thank all of you for your services to Cannon Falls up here. Thank you.
Thanks, Leroy. Leroy, it's been, what, 5 years now? You know, you stepped in when Mr. Jim Sherwinka passed away, and yeah, it was supposed to be a year and a half, and then after the next time when you weren't going to run again, nobody ran, and you were the write-in, so you agreed to do it for a few more years. Yeah. But I just want to say thank you for the time. I mean, you always had the angle of other things that are going on that other people don't see a lot of times, because being out on service calls and stuff, I know you got an earful a lot of times because you were there. I mean, so I want to thank you for your time, for your service. We got a parting gift for you, but it's somewhere on a FedEx truck that was supposed to be here today, but it didn't make her today. But we will. I will make sure I personally get it to you before Friday if it comes in tomorrow.
You know, Robbie, one of the things I told Martha that I was going to do the council thing there, she told me that I had to, is that I found out about your homemade bacon, and I decided, well, I told you that you got to teach me how to do that. And I just wanted to remind you that I never did get that out of part of the deal.
Well, we'll do that now that you're retired and you got time.
All right, I feel more comfortable about it. Anyway, thank you, Robbie, for your professionalism too. It's been a good run.
And again, thanks a lot, and wish you the best. And wish everybody out there a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Cannon Falls come a long way over the last 6 years, and through guidance of the council, and we're looking forward to bigger and better things in the new year. So with that, Chair will take a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Yep, see ya.